السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
Que la paix soit sur vous tous et toutes.
والسادة أعضاء حكومة المملكة المغربية المحترمون، السيدات والسادة الوزراء، ضيوف المملكة المغربية، أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، السادة الرؤساء التنفيذيون ورؤساء ومدراء الشركات، السادة المسؤولون الإداريون وممثلو الوفود، حضرات السيدات والسادة، سعيدة بلقائكم اليوم والترحيب بكم في النسخة الثالثة من معرض جيتكس إفريقيا الذي تحتضنه بلادنا تحت الرعاية السامية لصاحب الجلالة الملك محمد السادس حفظه الله، وهو الحدث القاري الضخم المخصص للتكنولوجيا والابتكار والذي يجمع نخبة المنظومة الرقمية الإفريقية والدولية على مدى 3 أيام هنا بمدينة مراكش. يأتي هذا الحدث للتأكيد على الأهمية المتزايدة للاقتصاد الرقمي والذي يمثل اليوم 15% من الناتج المحلي العالمي، أي ما يقارب 6500 مليار دولار. ووعيا منها بأهمية هذه الثورة الرقمية تنخرط المملكة المغربية بشكل فعال في تشكيل أسس مستقبل تعود فيه الرقمنة ومن خلالها الذكاء الاصطناعي بالنفع على الجميع، حيث أكد صاحب الجلالة الملك محمد السادس حفظه الله في خطابه الموجه إلى القمة الاستثنائية للاتحاد الإفريقي بكيغالي في مارس 2018 أن إفريقيا ماضية اليوم في طريقها لتصبح مختبراً للتكنولوجيا الرقمية، وهي الرؤية المتبصرة التي توجه مبادرات بلادنا وقارتنا. Allow me to continue my presentation in English. It is in the spirit that each year we gather here at JTEX Africa to examine, to question, and above all, to redesign the role of Africa in the digital age. This event brings together the entire ecosystem, government, global companies, research institutions, and startups, not simply to exchange technologies, but to rethink the future we are building together. We do so with the conviction that digital transformation is no longer an option. It is a foundational lever for development. Yet today, our ambition must go further. We must look beyond the digital age toward the next era that is already shaping our economies, our institutions, and our societies. That era is the age of artificial intelligence. This era is not a distant horizon. It is already here, and it is moving fast. At JTEX Africa, nearly 40% of all startups present are integrating artificial intelligence into their core products and services. This is not an isolated trend. It reflects a deeper shift, a transformation in the very architecture of innovation. To fully understand what lies ahead, we must briefly look at where AI began. We started with cognitive-centric AI machines designed to infer, built on symbolic logic and rule-based systems. These already systems mimicked human reasoning, but they were limited by rigidity. Then came data-centric AI, the first generation, where machines gained the ability to analyze. Through statistical models, data mining, and supervised learning, AI could detect patterns and derive insights at scale. Today, we are in the era of generative and multimodal AI. Machines generate images, synthesize speech, compose text, and even simulate human dialogue and imagination. And yet, this is not the final destination. We now stand at the threshold of a new frontier, agentic AI, an emerging class of systems that do not just generate content or respond to prompts, but act autonomously, learn continuously, plan, reason, and make decisions across domains. The shift from tools to agents is truly profound. In this sense, we are seeing real indicator of a strategic pivot, a global market expected to surpass $320 billion by 2030. Enterprise adoption is accelerating. 70% of major companies plan to integrate AI agents within the next 2 years. Even at the architecture level, major labs like OpenAI, DeepMind, Meta, and Microsoft are moving from models to unified agents. We are clearly entering the intelligence age. We are beyond doubt entering the intelligence age. But the question we must ask is not just when, but how do we enter this era as empowered technology creators? And how do we ensure Africa is truly helping to shape and define this intelligence? And the trust is Africa holds strategic assets that uniquely position it for global AI leadership. We have demographic advantage, young connected generation, fluent in the digital world. We hold over 30% of the world's critical mineral reserves essential to empowering AI hardware and cloud infrastructure. We are seeing growing investment momentum, over $1 billion in public-private AI investment across Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco, and we host thriving innovation landscape with more than 2,400 AI and deep tech startups across the continent. But we must also confront the fractures, real divides, and risk reinforcing dependency instead of sovereignty. First, a compute divide. Less than 1% of global data center capacity is in Africa. Second, talent divide. Africa produces just 0.5% of AI research publications, yet faces a shortage of over 10 million AI professionals. Third, data and model divide. 95% of global AI training data ignores African language and curricular context. These divides are not just technical, they are geopolitical, and they call for strategic, collective, and urgent action. In this context, Morocco has made a decisive choice not to be a technology maker, but to be a technology, not to be a technology taker, but to be a technology maker and shaper. Under the high directives of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, our national strategy, Digital Morocco 2030, is clear and structured in this way. It rests on two strategic pillars. First, the digitalization of public services, bringing the administration closer to citizens and businesses through more efficient, transparent, and accessible services. Second, the dynamization of the digital economy, supporting and stimulating innovation and creating value-added jobs. But we are not building this transformation on vision alone. We are catalyzing it with actions. The strategy launched in September 2000 The strategy launched in September 2024 is supported by concrete initiatives. The D4SD Hub to coordinate digital and AI development at a regional level. The Jazari Institute, regional bridges between research, innovation, and local ecosystems. Massive investment in sovereign digital infrastructure, and a full pipeline from university AI programs to primary school engagement. I will present only two examples. Jazari Institute. Let me share our example of Jazari Institute, which will anchor innovation and skill across all 12 regions of the kingdom, each one rooted in local ecosystem yet connected to a national AI strategy. The first regional institute will be inaugurated in Gelmim Wadnoun, marking the beginning of a progressive nationwide deployment. These institutes are not simply academic centers. They are innovation anchors designed to connect researchers, startups, manufacturers, citizens, and to align on local priorities, from agriculture, water, energy, and mining, with national digital ambitions. Each Jazari Institute is co-designed with local stakeholders embedded in a regional ecosystem and yet fully connected to a national and international AI strategy. Morocco as G4SD hub, but our ambition go beyond borders. Morocco has also been interested with hosting a regional center for sustainable development, a recognition of our strategic positioning, but more importantly, a testament to our digital leadership on the African continent.
Strategically positioned between Europe, Africa, and the Arab world, Morocco's Digital 2030 vision establishes the country as a leading digital economy. With ambitious plans for innovation, job creation, startup ecosystem growth, and e-governance advancement, Morocco is poised to become a digital powerhouse in the region. Across Arab and African regions, digital transformation faces critical barriers, inequitable AI access and
الأخوة بيننا وبين المملكة وبين الدول العربية أيضا في ذلك. اليوم كلمة الله يحفظها معالي الوزيرة وضحت كثير من النقاط الرئيسية، وأنا لا أريد أن أعيد كثير منها، فالكلمة جدا جميلة والرؤية أجمل، وأنا متأكد أيضا بسواعد هذا الجيل الطيب وبتعاون الشركات الكثيرة المتميزة والجيل الصاعد نأمل بإذن الله إن شاء الله أن تكون المملكة المغربية هي المركز أيضا هنا في أفريقيا، وليس فقط للمنطقة بل أيضا للعالم ككل. Allow me to speak in English here for the language of the conference. It is our honor and pleasure to be with you all. It is our dedication to support this great vision of the leadership here, and having a great organizer like Kaun, as well as the great companies and partners who are actually sharing the same vision that Her Excellency was mentioning. That's our goal. I will only mention one point to emphasize on that. With all of this digital transformation, with all of the data hub that we are actually depending our life on, with all of the transformation towards the cloud, with the sovereign cloud or with the hyperscalers clouds, it is very important to realize that yes, by 2030 there will be more than 300 billion investing in AI. However, the attacks that we see from a cybersecurity perspective in 2024 was more than $9 trillion. And this what takes us by 2025, such attacks, such number could raise to more than $12 trillion. We need to emphasize on the importance of cybersecurity. We need to emphasize on the privacy of data. We need to emphasize on the sovereignty of the data of nations. And this is where the agentics AI, this is where the sovereign AI, this is where many of those aspects need to be embedded in every single government as well as private sector's aspect. And that's why we are here. We cannot achieve this goal ourselves. We cannot achieve this goal, as Her Excellency mentioned, by one single entity. We need everybody to help us to achieve that goal. And that's what we are here for. That's the great platform, alhamdulillah, the third version of Jitex Africa will definitely emphasize on this, emphasize on the importance of AI, safe and secure AI, as well as on cybersecurity. You will see great startups, you will see great platforms that we are showing, as a matter of fact, in our pavilion, and you will see a great emphasis of this young generation who are actually really eager to leverage and use AI for good. And that's what we are here for. There need to be governance and policies to actually govern many of those aspects. There need to be technological investment that will definitely help in doing many of this perspective. There need to be partnership, and that's the most important things that we see, not only between government, but also between companies and people. And this is why we call it PPPP, Public, Private, People Partnership. And that's the new version that we are actually emphasizing on. So again, it's our honor to be here, and we are definitely supporting and working together with our brotherly sisters as well as government of Morocco to emphasize on this important thing. Thank you very much, and I hope you will find this great conference as well as exhibitions beneficial to you all. Thank you very much. Shukran.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for